Welcome to Crypto Wake Up. My name is Chris. Thank you for joining me today for this episode of Week in Review. Now, this show is designed to catch people up on the news who have missed it all week. And also, it's a fun little archive of stories from the past that someday we can look back onto in the future. That being said, all right, it's time for some news. Binance announces globe-spanning Libra competitor, Venus. The world's largest cryptocurrency exchange is challenging Facebook directly on its own turf, but with a twist. Yes, the twist is Binance has CZ, and Libra has this creepy dude that doesn't respect privacy. Now, the upside to Binance creating a stablecoin is that Binance understands the cryptocurrency customer and the needs of the community. Next, Bitcoin Satoshi reveal. Yeah, that is not what I thought Satoshi would look like either. But the good news is it's probably not him anyways. Now, his reveal has been amusing amateur fiction, and he has made some mistakes in his reveal. The biggest and most damning probably was when he referred to himself as a cyberpunk and not a cypherpunk. Now, these are cypherpunks, and these are cyberpunks. Now, Satoshi would not make a mistake of referring to himself as a cyberpunk who looks like they belong in a first-person shooter. He would most likely refer to himself as a cypherpunk who is any activist advocating strong use of cryptography and privacy technologies as a route to social and political change. So yeah, this was a major mistake. Also, he did state that he lost his 980,000 Bitcoin when he dropped his laptop off to get repaired, which seems very realistic, but again, maybe just uncreative fiction. Breaking, Bax Bitcoin future contract gets green light from CFTC and will be launched on September 23rd. This is incredibly bullish on an institutional level. Now, Backed is an outlet for lots of big money to buy Bitcoin, and it's going to be a wild show. Basically, cryptocurrency is gaining a greater audience, and people are going to get to watch the show that we all have enjoyed. All right, time for some news. First story, HODL Bitcoin. Trump's signature hikes national debt by $1.7 trillion. Now, no matter what your opinion of Trump is, he really has moved forward the need for Bitcoin. I would rather move forward the adoption of Bitcoin, but if he keeps printing more money, I guess the need for Bitcoin is just as good. And next, the 5 most important dates for Bitcoin until 2020. August 22nd, New York Attorney General injunction against Bitfinex to expire. Listen, we all know Tether is our dirty secret, and it's probably going to take the market down, but I say it's time to rip off the Band-Aid. We probably shouldn't be using Tether anyways. September 23rd, Backed will officially launch. We all know this is the rocket fuel which we need to launch. Whether the rocket fires off later on, we need Backed for the institutions. October 13th, SEC makes the final decision on Bitwise Bitcoin ETFs. Blah, blah, blah. October 18th, SEC rules on whether to pass Van Eck and SolidX ETFs. Blah, blah, blah. We all know the ETFs will be postponed. Probably not affect the market at all. October 28th, the submission of final rehabilitation plans for Mt. Gox. Now, Mt. Gox sold approximately $230 million worth of Bitcoin in 2018 and is finally going to pay back all of its creditors. The good news is Mt. Gox is almost over, and the effect on Bitcoin's price is most likely going to be positive. OTC desk head said trading volume has increased 2,000% since 2018. Now, whether that was affected by the Mt. Gox selling of the Bitcoin, it really doesn't matter. Now, when the halvening happens and the OTC desks don't have the Bitcoin that the big market players want, they will have to buy on the exchanges, and that will push the price up. All right, time for some news. Bitcoin drops ahead of global central bankers meeting. Well, that sounds like they're forming a bit of a game plan. The G7 meets next week to investigate regulations for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Yep, there it is, a bit of regulation anticipation. Now, Bitcoin can't be regulated, but the exchanges and custodial services and the OTC desk can be. Now, we do love our pseudo-anonymous and anonymous nature of crypto, but that is slowly going to be regulated away with Know Your Customer laws. Now, the fear and greed index is at a 5, which is extremely fearful. And this is most likely caused by incoming regulation and also some other FUD. So yeah, there are some bearish news stories out there and FUD, but don't give in to extreme fear. These most likely are tiny, friendly, furry banker bears who can sense their impending doom and only want to figure out how to take the leap to crypto. High-powered mining rigs drive Bitcoin's accelerating hash rate. With a high hash rate, Bitcoin becomes a bit faster, but most of all, it becomes incredibly secure. Now, advances in mining rigs have been made, the hash rate is at an all-time high, and I have done some transactions lately, and they have been much quicker and the fees much lower than I anticipated. Now, during all this FUD, we should take some hopium. Studies suggest scarcity could drive Bitcoin prices to 60,000 by May. Wow, that was a strong dose of hopium. Probably need to do a little bit less. Bitcoin price, not at the top of the new bull cycle yet, new data shows. Now, most likely we've been in the bull market for 5 months. Now, a bull market typically lasts 3 years. So we have just begun. So we need to get out of this mindset and relax, because there's a greater chance this will be what we'll be seeing in a couple years. All right, time for some news. Craig Wright posts Bitcoin white paper. It is time to own my invention. Now, is Craig Wright Satoshi? Most likely not. Now, does he have access to the million Bitcoin of Satoshi? There could be a microscopic tiny chance. Right now, Craig Wright does seem very vengeful towards Bitcoin. He reminds me of a leprechaun trying to get to his pot of gold. Wait till I get my biddy, then you'll see. Next, why Bitcoin rules in the insane world of negative interest rates. Oh, yes. Yeah, we're going to have to take on this big topic. Now, many European countries do have a negative interest rate, and worldwide, many countries are going in that direction with 0% interest. So let's break it down simply. Every $10 loaned in Switzerland, they get $9.92 back. So the person loaning the money actually pays 8 cents to give someone a loan. Now that is where the insanity comes in. Nothing like that makes sense. Now, we are still in an economic experiment for the past 10 years called quantitative easing. Now, the thing to note is that money gets pumped into government and corporate bonds. So if buying bonds, which is a different type of financial loan, gives you a negative interest rate, why would you do it? That's why gold is on the rise, and also real estate. But in this digital age, Bitcoin has become more appealing for a store of value. Now, you can't conjure up more gold, you can't create more land, and you can't make more Bitcoin. There's only 21 million that will ever be made. So basically, hard stores of value that can't be reproduced or duplicated are the best hedge against inflation and financial crises. Well, after that serious story, we have to look at something ridiculous now. Bitcoin advocate becomes nobody to run for New Hampshire town mayor. Now, Rich Paul, a longtime resident of Keene, New Hampshire, which was dubbed Crypto Mecca because of its evangelism of digital currencies, changed his name to Nobody. Now, I do like Nobody's platform, and it goes something like this. Vote for Nobody. Nobody will keep election promises. Nobody will listen to your concerns. Nobody will help the poor and unemployed. Nobody cares. If nobody is elected, things will be better for everybody. After hearing that, I hope nobody wins.